Hey guys, what's up? I think I've just hit 5 minute. Forget that. Okay, let's play a 5 minute game. And then we'll do a 15-10. Okay, we've got a French. You go on full French. The Dima Dum Gambit, already worse. Okay, this is a good response from black. We just trade everything in the middle. Okay, and now we have multiple ways to attack. Now, if we do... Okay, I think it's this first. Then if it's that and that and that and that, I think that's the way. I think that's the way. There is a sequence here where you just very calmly develop a bunch of stuff. So I'm hitting the queen, and my opponent missed it. Go figure. You can resign. Right? 1500 rated. Hangs his queen. No rematch. Sorry. We're going back to a 1510 because that's what we came here to do. Okay, so I'm rated, what was that, 1550 odd in blitz. I'm rated 1616 in rapid. Fingers crossed. The road to 1700 starts here. We're on the road to nowhere. Okay, I'm facing Gaidos 1942, and we have a Pirc. Okay, right, so let's see what we get. Okay, is there attacking my knight? I can just defend here. Because of the Pirc structure, there's no real danger of this bishop coming out and immediately pinning my knight. Okay. This is all good. I'm already thinking about this bishop, whether it wants to go on g2, because there's already 2 pawns on that long diagonal. So I'm not sure right now. I think what I'm going to do is bring the knight out so that these pawns are covered, all the central squares are covered, because I've got both knights out. He can't bring his knight to here now, by the way. Okay, the queen pins the knight. So, this is not a major problem. I'm thinking light squared bishop and castles. My bishop defends b2. I think d3. I think bishop d3. So it's not in the way of the queen. And it is looking down at that corner. Now in some instances, of course, bishop e2 can be a better move. Here I think that looks fine. There's another reason for bishop e2. But do I want to castle, or do I want to kick the bishop? Because you see, I don't think this king's going that way. I think black's going to short castle, right? So if I start kicking the bishop, he goes back, and even if I double kick, it's a tempo gaining move, and I'm not too scared about my dark squares because this bishop, quite honestly, is currently entombed. So this is the question: do I want to double kick? If this, I might have threats of discovery on the queen, right? But can the queen? She can go here and threaten that. I've always got rook b1. It breaks the pin on the knight. Don't think there's any bad thing. If I go here, she can go there. She can't go there. So that's possible. Put it in orange. And that's possible. But either way, I think I'm okay. Unless I may wish to long castle. And this is a strategic question now. If I kick the bishop, he's going back here. Okay, I think I'm just going to get my king to safety and then think about what to do. And nothing wrong with this. I've got better central control. I've got control of all of these 4 squares here. Okay. Now my opponent is, I think this is kind of a no-brainer. Now, he can take, now my knight is still pinned, it has to be noted. But, bishop e2. My queen can't really go in yet. do that and this. That's 2 attackers on here. It's defended twice currently. This, and he's just going to play bishop e7, which he wants to do anyway, because he really wants to get his king safe now. I want to make that harder if I can, but I can't see an easy way of doing that. Okay. Queen goes back. So she's not interested in b2. And I feel like we are definitely better here, right? I'm castled, I've got all 4 minor pieces out on the board. My issue is I've got this pin, which is a bit annoying. I might just have to play bishop e2. My opponent wants to bring out his dark squared bishop, and he's got several choices, actually. Several squares where he can go. That old bishop. That is defended now by the queen. Again, this doesn't work. It just prompts bishop e7. A pointless move, I think. Now, in many instances, sometimes you can just like move the queen, allow them to do this, and damage your pawns, and then just like stick your king here, h1 or h2. Put the rook on here, semi-open file, and use it as a target. In which case, this bishop here on this long diagonal here is very useful indeed. The question is, is there anything I want to do with my queen? That walks into the same issue, which is not necessarily that much of an issue, especially if I can do that. Should we try that? I don't know if we should be trying. Is it stupid or is it good? Then my knight might come to here, my rook comes to here, my king might come to h2. Maybe we should let him castle first. Okay, I'm going to play this move then, because I want to encourage him to castle that way. And then we might play a trick on our opponent. Maybe queen there. Okay, that's slightly surprising. There. Bishop takes, I take. And this knight becomes, yeah, do you know, I like it. I like it. Huh. He declines. Thinking about maybe bringing the bishop back this way. If I do this and he kicks again, I do that. I've got 2 attackers on there, still defended twice. Bishop here, or bishop here. I think this is flexible. Maybe I might want to double up the queen and the bishop, so I'm going to stick it on e3. Probably queen on d2. If I get a chance, I might just well play knight g3 on the next move, if he doesn't take immediately. That hits the bishop. If bishop takes, I've got queen takes, and I'm just in a really strong position then. He's thinking about it. It's kind of a bold approach, but the important thing is my king actually in danger? I mean, there's a locked off pawn here, so this remaining bishop is going to be no threat. Let's say I put my king on h2, I put my rook here, right? Put my knight here and here. I've got rook and knight now looking at this. I've got bishop and maybe also queen looking at h6, right? If he castles short now, he could unwittingly be walking into a whole pile of trouble. Could he go long? But even there long, my bishops are not too shabby. And I've got a bunch of pawns ready to form a suicide squad. Okay, looks like he's doing it. He castles, I'll probably play king h2. Yeah, I want to get my rook on here and then just hit the pawn. It's kind of a tale of these h-pawns, isn't it? Both h-pawns have moved one square. Go on, castle. I dare you. I double dare you, mother figure. Say what one more time. Okay, he's biding his time. I'll play king h2. The knight can't threaten me. This bishop might think about coming in this way. That's the only real... Oh, but you come in there, I just repair my pawns. Just stick my knight here now. Right? The knight is just creeping. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. Make the king move. Maybe take the bishop, we don't know. This is now also a hole. You know, so it's like you defend this, but every time a pawn moves, yes, you change what you're protecting or defending or attacking. Every pawn move is double-edged. I mean, sometimes one edge is sharp and one edge is blunt. But the point is that you're always changing what you have to, because like this pawn here is looking at those two squares. If I move it, it's now looking at those two, but it ain't looking at those two anymore. I've changed things. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. This is very tempting move. Tempted to come here and move the king along. That is a thought. Right, important question to do with relative piece value and activity. Is his knight better than... So if his knight takes here, I could take with the c-pawn, for example. Which I think definitely puts pay to any long castling ideas. If his knight takes here, I'll take the c-pawn. It's a decent knight, right? What is this bishop's role and future? Right now it's tough because there's a lot of pawnage on the king side, but he still hasn't shown his hand. So if I was to take there, I'm trading a good knight for a currently not great bishop, but it could be a great bishop. So if I take and his bishop comes out, has his bishop become a lot more powerful? Because right, you know, hitherto it hasn't been that great. I'm inclined to slap my knight in here and let him take the light square bishop if he really wants it. My central pawns are kind of light squared, so I mean, my bishop could have gone there, I suppose. That's another idea. Could have just got out, but then, you know, we've got b5. Drop back, he takes anyway. I'm still feeling okay about this. I'm expecting a mistake to come at some point, because that's what happens. Life is hard. And he's not castled. And so if I go here, he'd be a madman to step onto there, wouldn't he? Because he's walking onto an open file. So I think he's going to come here. Then I can't go back there. I'd have to come back to F... Oh, hello. And I do believe we've had our mistake, boys and girls. What is the mistake? Oh, no, it's not. Takes, queen takes, yeah. I thought that only the king could take and then I win this. So he's stopping my knight from going there. Still a good question though. Do I want to take, if queen takes, which is what's going to happen, or do I want to like double up pressure? I could play queen c3. Attack this knight twice. I can't worry this knight right now, but then it's not really worrying me either. If he comes here, he's not attacking much. I could move this knight along, put the question to it. So where are you going to go? What's your idea? Lots of plans. This is a very good knight right now, by the way, in terms of like piece strength. On f5, it's really good. It's in my opponent's half of the board. It's controlling important squares. Can I just drop back here? There, he takes. If I drop back, we might have rook d8, in which case I have this. Okay, I'm going to drop the bishop back. I think that's flexible. I like the idea of keeping the bishop pair. There's only one closed file right now on the whole board. So the bishops could prove to be somewhat of a force. Looking at that, actually he can't castle because he just loses this pawn with check as well. Because look how loose his pawns are compared to mine. No. I thought that we had the mistake. I could retreat the knight, try and trade off. But then, again, you have to say, is that snapshot picture better for me or better for black than what we have now? And I think having this knight in my opponent's face right now, pressuring that, forcing his knight to guard that square, preventing him from castling, because I'm looking at this pawn. Still got pressure on the bish. Even if he adds another defender, it doesn't work because I take out the bish. And then there's only one defender. He can't defend the knight. I think he's got to move the knight now, hasn't he? Oh no, he's got pawn. He's got pawn b6. Leaves all these pawns undefended by other pawns though. There we go. Now it wouldn't be great to be able to do that and skewer the queen and rook. I feel like that's one of those moves that you really don't want to have to play. Now let's say I attack the knight. I mean I could attack knight immediately with b4. Then we get knight a4 hitting my queen. I haven't got enough pieces looking like there. Currently the knight is the only defender of that pawn, which is actually under threat. So does that just win a pawn? Takes, bishop takes, takes. b5 traps the bishop. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. I'm just going to play a3. Might prepare b4. Still got 8.5 minutes. Oh, you did it. You came in there. All right. Okay, so he's attacking the undefended light squared bishop. Get it. If I come here, he pushes. I can just drop back. Because the problem with this is it gives me this move. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, all the way back to a2. Still looking here. You know? This is a waiting game. We're only on move 21. So it's not like, you know, we're deep into the game. And the knight still has to defend this. You know? I'm still threatening this. I'm still threatening that if he castles. Still threatening that. Excuse me. Too much excitement. Now if I take the bishop, no, it's still queen takes. I mean, I'd love to mess up his pawns. If I could make his pawns like that. If the queen... we'll see. Anyway, black, over to you. What are you going to do? I think that my position's quite alright. I don't know if I do want to play the move b4. I'm just, you know, maybe just taking that b4 square away from the bishop. Maybe away from the knight. He can play this anyway. But then I have like this, hitting the knight, which is undefended, and putting two attackers on f7, which is always nice. I could take out his bishop and leave it as a 2 bishops versus 2 knights situation, which will then hopefully become a 2 bishops versus 2 knights endgame. Don't know if that necessarily favours me. If I was to take, takes towards the centre, I'd have to occupy the G file pretty sharpish, wouldn't I? Oh yeah, take. He's got to take. He'd have to take with the G pawn. Let's just think this through. Because if he takes with this pawn, loses his rook. Yes. So if I take here, he's got to take with that pawn. Then we've got 2 locked up thingies. I have rook G1. Queen's also attacking this. See, my problem is if I take this bishop, the queen takes. Queen's still defending that pawn and that knight. So that's a very useful square. Now, Gaidos is having to think. And the king moves. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Wow, okay. Right, what does that change? Do I attack them? Let's think about this now. Let's just drop the bishop back, right? I put the knight, he comes here. I'm going to drop the bishop back first. And I'll tell you why. So if he does this, attacks my queen, I stick my queen here. That he can't do that, because then I've got a fork, which he can't block, right? So I'm hitting the knight. So b4, he can't do this. So b4, he goes here. I could just then wipe him out with a bishop. Pawn takes, double pawns right in the middle of the board. Exposed king. Got to be good for us. Okay, b4, knight here, blocking the rook. You know? Oi, give over. He's on 820 now. Apparently I played the check defense against the Pirc. So this, as we saw, I think is Serbia. No, it's Slovakia. How can I tell the difference between these guys? That looks exactly the same as Serbia yesterday. Maybe the badge is different, I don't know. Serbia, Croatia, Slovakia. I don't know. I need to look. I need to see them all like big size. Czech Republic. What do these? They all look the same to me. So apologies. And I'm up on the clock. Who'd have thunk it? Would we play Rook AD1 or Rook FD1? Probably not Rook FD1 because I think I might want one to come over here. But if here he takes, I take back. Maybe we shall see. We shall see. But now it's over to him to try and think what he's doing. And I think he was very tardy in not castling. Because now he's found himself in a Swiss cheese pawn structure. I mean, you know, this looks like they're tight, but I mean, they're not. Currently, 2 of those pawns are defended only by the queen. One of them is defended only by a knight. They're only defended by pieces. And pieces move. It's kind of a feature of the game. It's like he has to move something now. He has to push a pawn or move a piece. And most moves are piece moves. It's interesting actually. I don't know the ratio of pawn moves to piece moves in chess. If anyone can look that up, please put it in the comments. But my hunch says that it's at least like 2 to 1. Pawn moves to piece moves. So you don't want to make too many pawn moves in the opening. You can make 3 or 4. sometimes. Or more, if it's the right thing to do. Dogs have been out for their walk early again today, so they're all cleaning bits of mud off. It's January, it's muddy. But yeah, day 5 of my new regime, my Big Fat Challenge XL. And we have movement. Okay, well, you know what he's doing? He's defending this pawn. He sees the threat. I could do this anyway and stick my queen here. Could play rook a d1. He's down to 5 minutes now. He knows he's under the cosh. The other thing as well now is that if I was to take here, he does have the option of taking with e-pawn, because the rook doesn't hang, yes? But the rook also still has to defend this pawn. I don't think there's any option of like takes, hit the rook. That just doesn't make any sense. This pawn is actually helpful to me because it's on the same file as my king. I don't really want to go after that pawn at all. That's defended 2 times. I could still take out the bishop. Let's revisit this. I take out the bishop, queen takes. I take out the knight. Queen takes, pawn takes. Messed up pawns, yes. I mean, he technically has a 4 pawn potentially connected on that side of the board. He might push this. He might do that. Not worried about this pawn coming forward. Not really worried about this pawn coming forward. I'm going to face off the rooks and see what he thinks about that. And pre-move the recapture. He does have knight e2 hitting my queen, but that doesn't bother me because I can come here or here. Well, not there right now. I can come here, which does put pressure on. That, for example, would allow me to take this pawn for free, because the rook is a defender of both of those, and the king can't be the first to capture if the initial capturer is defended. Yes, because he'd be going into check. So queen here is a threat. Knight here, queen c4. I'm tempted to play queen c4 anyway. Ah, he's moved the pawn, okay. Makes sense. Notice the queen is also the only defender of this, and the only defender of that, and that, and that. So I'm attacking the bishop, yes. Let's do this in red. I'm attacking the bishop, I'm attacking that, I'm attacking that. Still there's no clear way through. Woody, give over. Stop it. I'm trying to concentrate here. I don't think I want to take out this knight. But if he takes with that pawn, stick my rook on this open file. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because I have the safer king. He's managing to hunker down, so it's, you know, it's either a case that you just grind it out and maneuver, which is probably what you should do in a classical game or a long form game, or you bust some moves and try and make something happen. And that I've just tried to make something happen on the idea that that bishop right now isn't great. This bishop is great. This bishop right now, its only real options are taking one of the knights. Okay. See you later. Yeah? And I think, you know, doubling up his pawns, messing up his pawns just that little bit, is only going to help me. Okay, now my queen has mega visibility. So that rook has to stop my queen from going there as well, and my queen from going there. Let's say I took this and rook took, and queen went here. That would be checkmate. There, rook takes, queen in corner, checkmate, yes. There, king takes, only other option. And we're out of ideas there. There the king takes. No. Knight. No. Okay, b4 it is. He puts his knight here. I don't think that's great. I've got a couple of reasonable moves for my queen and his knight's completely stuck. So I think he's going to have to retreat. And he's down to 4 minutes 15. If he does this, he blocks the queen's defense of that, so that if I take the bishop, king has to take. Knight here. Queen can't go there. I'd like this rook to be doing more. See, right now, the queen's guarding this square, and so is the knight, for the moment, not for long. All these entry points are well protected. He's gone there, look. Okay. Take, queen takes. I win this pawn. If I take king takes, yes. I think I will. Queen takes, this pawn falls, and that's not good. Also, I have the option of taking here, right now. I think he needs to take with a king. Yes, well done. Think this. Might bring my queen around here. The reason I come via e1 is so not to undefend the pawn. I can't go there because of the knight. Right, so I want to get to this square, maybe hit the rook. I don't know, it's only hitting a rook, isn't it? It's not really doing anything sensible. But my opponent's hanging on really well here. And I have traded off some reasonable pieces. Takes, takes, I'm in check. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him take, if he's that keen on trading pawns. If he pushes, I'll just play king g2. If he or whichever. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm only a minute up on the clock as well. He's taking 20 seconds over his moves, 40 and a minute over the previous two. So we've definitely got a game on, haven't we? Here, I'd imagine he just goes there. Oh, he took there. I'm slightly surprised at that. Okay, I'm not going to hurry to recapture. The rook can't come in, his queen can't come in. This pawn is currently defended. I'm threatening this. There. Does he want to... He can't go there. He can't go... Oh, he's threatening that. He is threatening that. Okay then. He's down to 3 minutes. I'm on 4:12. My queen is, you know, threatening to come in with checks. Pushes the king here or here to defend the pawn. Okay, we take again. Whew. Come on. Need to use this bishop. No, you don't, lady. Okay, I'm a pawn down for now. I'm stopping the queen coming there. Also maybe attacking this pawn. If the queen comes in with check, I have to go to h2. Can't take this pawn because the queen comes here. And I'm mated because I can't go there or there because of these pawns. The queen guards all of these if the queen's on h1. And this pawn guards this one, this pawn guards this one. So I've got to be a bit careful. But on the other hand, let's say I trade off here. If we could trade off queens, I might arguably be slightly better. I don't know. Okay, queenside with 3 on 3. That is my passed pawn, but it can't be defended by a pawn. And it's hard to defend it with my king. This is defended only by the knight, but I can remove the knight. I take here. There I can't do because he takes with check. So I have to defend. Okay, and that defends that as well. Ooh, goodness me. That knight is actually in quite a good spot right now, but the queen can't really move. Well, the knight falls. Can I take? Takes. Right, I want to move my pawn to c3. His knight comes back here. Then he's not attacking my queen, I can just take the pawn. Whew. I think my opponent has played very well. Considering I had him in a horrible position. Okay. There, he's defending that with his... Okay, I'm just going to do this then. And still he holds on. I think I want my bishop here in c3. Reason is that my bishop then controls the d1 entry point. Still, now with this knight here, my king is a lot less powerful because it can't take the pawn, it can't go there. It's down to 1 minute 39. He's used his knight extremely well. And I'm still currently a pawn down, but doubled and isolated pawns on the edge. Okay. His queen can't come in with check. As long as I defend this pawn and this pawn, I'm probably okay. Oh no, he's got two attackers on there. That's the point. Okay, if I go here and he goes here, if I could only give it some checks. Their pawn takes I can't take with the queen because the knight, blooming knight guards it. If I let him take here, we trade queens. I'm going to win a pawn. Bishop versus knight ending. Good king. Might be okay. Problem is, what is the move? I have to make a move. Okay, I'm going to come here with the idea of that. That comes with check, yes. But, and I know there's a discovery option here. He can take there. That's annoying, actually. Didn't think that one through. Here, queen can't check me. Okay, bah, I shouldn't have lost that pawn. That was kind of important. I have queen takes this one though. Hits knight and hits that. At least my bishop's secure. But I am being somewhat outplayed in the endgame. Not for the first time. At least the queen has no checks. Got two attackers on this pawn. I am 2 pawns down, but those 2 pawns are this and one of these ones, right? And this one's about to fall. And my bishop is a much quicker and longer range piece than that knight. 42 seconds. Okay, here queen comes in with check. I have to go there. Don't like that, but what can I do? I'm going to go here so the queen can't come in with check. She can go there with check. I'm going to have to hide in the back. That's tough, but there's also now an open file. There he can move the knight with a discovered check, but it's the only legal move. Moves the knight with discovered check. Back here. She can't go there, she can go there. Forces me in the corner. The knight can't come back to there with check because the queen's in the way. Jeez. I might get a check in. If I can get a check in, might have a hope. If the knight goes there, I have to go there. Okay, well now I have to take the pawn. Okay, she's only got one decent check. No, she's got that one as well. Or that one. Oh, that one. So here I go back. Stop it. And he's down to 12 seconds. Bloody hell. She can't go there, defended by the pawn because of that. So in fact, there's no check there, or there. The only checks are these two. He's just got himself 10 more seconds. You give check there, I win another pawn, and we're equal. This pawn is always a liability, and it is king. Oh my god. Well, I don't know if I have the constitution. Oh man. To go to analyze that. Maybe just look at, a couple of major flaws. That's really the bare minimum that you should do. Games like this, but both in the 60s. What's that for? Ooh. Ouch. But look, at the end, I'm right back in it. He had made it too. No. Can't even see it now. Queen here. And wherever I go, king h6, queen g6 defended by the knight, king h4, knight, oh my god. Well, that was a lucky escape. Okay, well back to, where's my big king kahuna screw up? Okay, here, g4, and I brought the queen back. Should have traded there. F takes is best. Bring my rook in. Wow. Okay, I did that. And yeah, that was a mistake as well. Wow. No, I can't see that. And here's another one. Here we're equal. And I just dropped my queen back to stop his queen coming in. I should have, again, traded the bishop off the knight. Well, there you go. Scraping through. Scraping through by the skin of my teeth. But, you know, look, sometimes games aren't brilliant. Sometimes games are dirty and, you know, you're rolling in the mud. You're gouging. And that's the way it is. And, but, you know, even still, you know, a win on a game like that is worth the same as a win with a wonderfully calculated checkmate. Not proud of that game, but I'm proud of winning the fight, put it that way. So that's all for me for today. Up to 1622 now. But, you know, a win is a win. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Take care.